Classic Hits, My 105.9. On a Thursday, it's Willy Tyler, and happy to announce that on the phone with us today, Mr. Weird Al Yankovic. It's weird to say Mr. to Weird, but hello, Al.
Hey, Willie, how's it going?
Good, man. It's great to hear from you. We're very excited. The Strings Attached tour coming to the First Interstate Arena at Metrapark on Sunday night at 7:30. You are out on tour right now, correct?
I am. At this very moment, I'm somewhere in Canada.
Okay. How's the tour going so far?
It's going great. We're kind of on the home stretch. It's been a 3-month tour. We're in the final 2 weeks, and it's been amazing. We're doing every single show with a full symphony orchestra, which is something we've never done before. It's the biggest show we've ever done, the biggest show we're ever likely to do. So probably a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but it's been amazing.
Well, and that's the wild thing, because last year you did like a stripped-down, it was called the Ridiculously Self-Indulgent, Ill-Advised Vanity Tour, which is a great name for a tour, by the way. Now you're going kind of the opposite direction. Yeah,
I like going to extremes. We did our most bare bones tour last time out, so I thought I'd flip it and this time do our most elaborate, extravagant tour. So I just like mixing it up. It makes it more fun for myself and the band and hopefully for the fans.
Well, sure, and you've been touring since, like the mid-'80s, so I can imagine that just going out and playing the same hits over and over, so you got to mix it up a little bit. But the orchestra thing, how did that come about?
Well, a couple of years ago, I got invited to do 2 nights at the Hollywood Bowl with their orchestra, which is an amazing 85-piece orchestra, and that's the kind of offer you don't say no to. So we did that, and it was just it made my song sound so majestic. I'd never heard, I'd never been in the middle of an orchestra playing my own music and hearing that amazing sound before, and it just it was kind of magical. It was almost a religious experience. I told my manager, like, can we please put together a tour like this, because this would be amazing, and somehow we were able to do it.
And somehow you did it. Is it different picking a set list for a tour with an orchestra, or is it easier?
Well, it was a challenge because we wanted to still play the hits, and we wanted to have a few surprises, but mostly we wanted to pick songs that we thought would really benefit from having an orchestra. So we pulled out a few classics that we haven't done in years, like Jurassic Park, which is based on MacArthur Park, which, that's a full orchestra sound.
Sure.
And we don't normally do that in the show because it really kind of needs a full orchestra. But now we've got one. So we're playing all the songs that a few songs we've never, ever played live before because we thought, we can't really do that because we don't have an orchestra. And now we do.
Well, and it's a different orchestra every night or almost every night?
Pretty much, yeah. We're using local musicians because we don't have 18 tour buses out on the road with us. So it's all just local musicians, which is nice because we get to help out the local economies and the local musicians, and we meet a lot of new people on every stop.
I assume it's not you lining up all of the different orchestras, but there's got to be a lot behind all of that. Just tracking them down in each town and stuff too, right?
Yeah, it's a big job. There are a lot of branded orchestras, meaning the Colorado Symphony or the Nashville Orchestra, or things like that. But most of the venues we're putting together our own orchestras, and that wasn't my job. That's a lot of logistics. There's a team that puts together the actual orchestras. But that doesn't, as soon as I announced I was doing this tour, I was getting emails and DMs on Twitter from people saying, my cousin plays the viola. I was getting hit up a lot from people like that.
Yeah, sure. I'll learn the violin by Sunday, and
Right.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, I'm a huge fan. I was a Mad Magazine kind of kid. 2 of my first cassettes were Polka Party and Even Worse. And so when I found out you were coming to town, not knowing that I was even going to get to talk to you, not knowing I was going to be, getting things through the radio, I went and bought front row seats the very first second they went on sale, so I could be there. So.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, I'm very excited. And you did play here before, but I didn't get a chance to see you. It's been many years since you've been to Billings, though.
Yeah, I don't have any real control over where I play. People say, "Oh man, how come you never play here?" Like, well, I mean, I would love to play everywhere I can, but you have to have a promoter in that city that wants to have me come out. So be mad at your promoters, not me.
That's the same reason my niece doesn't get to play the viola in your orchestra? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
I want to know how you stay up on pop music now, because I know MTV was really a lot of the early. And I mean, you were like the king of MTV for quite a while too. But obviously, we got to learn a lot of those songs through MTV, and you probably did too. And I wanted to know: do you have like a Spotify or a YouTube? Do you follow the charts? I know you have a teenage daughter. That might maybe help now.
It's all of the above, you know. I definitely I don't really watch MTV anymore, but I keep up my finger on the pulse by checking out the charts. I listen to YouTube. I'm online a lot more often than a healthy person should be. And yeah, I do have a teenage daughter, so sometimes if I'm thinking about doing an artist, I'll say, has this person are people talking about this in your school, in your class? And I kind of have my finger in the pulse that way.
One more question: this is always something that I've wondered about you, probably for 20 years, is when you kick back and listen to music, do you? I assume it's like on your phone or something now, not like you're listening to CDs or whatever. But do you have a style of music you enjoy? Do you listen to? I assume you don't listen to accordion albums. Maybe you do. I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Honestly, for the longest time, it's been my job to listen to like current music to kind of figure out what I can do with it. And so if I'm just looking for my own enjoyment, I listen to the stuff that I listened to like in high school and my college days, the old British invasion music from the 60s and 70s and like new wave and just like odd stuff like that. But it's sort of like comfort food for my ears. Right.
Which is kind of what everybody does. That's what they prefer the most, is their formidable years or whatever, which is, I've heard you say in the past that most of your fans' favorite songs are the song that came out when they were 12.
Right.
And that's so right.
Yeah,
I mean, looking back and looking at the
sense.
albums I have, I'm like, oh yeah, that's so right. And I love it, man. And I really appreciate you taking the time to talk today. And we are definitely all looking forward to it here in Billings. Sunday night, Weird Al, strings attached with a full-on orchestra, First Interstate Arena at Metrapark. Happens at 7:30, and I won't keep you any longer, man, but thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Well, thank you, and I hope to see you at the show.
You will see me. I'll be in the front row.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
All right, man. Thank you very much.